Hello, I'm Gareth A Davies, and this is the Championship Rounds for Pitch Boxing, where I bring you all the interviews from the combat sports world. Enjoy. I am joined by the one and only Savannah Marshall. Actually, I've got a comment. You had the full maquillage, the full makeup on Tuesday for what could have been Fisties in London, but it wasn't. But there was a lot of verbals. But you got a little mark under your right eye. Shows that you're hard in training, sparring.
True, yeah. No, it shows I don't move my head.
You do move your head. Let me recap on the press conference on Tuesday. Of course, both of you with utter self-belief that the undisputed 160-pound title will be yours on September the 10th. Can I say it's my birthday? It is. I cannot wait to be there on my birthday. What a birthday present.
Wow, yeah. Fair.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm actually excited to be working on my birthday. It's more and more and more, you and Claressa Shields have been going at it. What do you get out of those sessions with her, Savannah? Do you read anything?
Look, I've known Claressa a long time. This fight's been in the making for a long time, properly for about the past 18 months. So it's the same thing with her. She never comes up with anything new. It's the same. You haven't got an Olympic medal. You've boxed no one. So it's the same rubbish. So I'm quite comfortable in Claressa's presence. I'm really comfortable in Claressa's presence. So it's nothing where I'm thinking, oh my God, what's she going to say? What's she going to do? It's just another day.
But when she drives into you nose to nose, is it ever close to kicking off or not? Or are you guys just so disciplined, it's just you're going to wait for the moment?
I can't speak for her, but I've got quite good self-control. I always think back to when I was young, and I used to fun fight with my brother badly, but it wasn't so much turned into like proper fighting when we were young. And I always remember him losing his rag and me like just keep teasing, do you know, and him just going ballistic and my mum having to split us up. So I always think back, yeah, I always remember from being little and having like that self-control.
Did you win when the counters came eventually though?
Sorry?
Did you win? Did you counter him when he did go at you?
That's what I'm saying. I always had true self-control. I never ever
really?
lost it or anything like that.
You never knocked your brother out then, no?
No, never.
Is he a younger brother?
He's younger. He's 18 months younger than me, yeah.
Okay. Can he box?
No. He always gets asked, why did you never box? And he used to always say, when your sister can beat you up, I don't think you're going to be very good at boxing, do you?
Can I ask what his name and what he does?
He's called Charlie Marshall, and he's training to be an accountant. Okay.
Does he support you? Is he ringside? Will we have witnessed him ringside?
Yeah, he's always there. He actually messaged me asking when the ticket's coming out, do you know, we're going to plan going down a couple of days earlier and all this. So he loves it.
It's a very exciting moment, isn't it? I mean, we're still quite a long way off. What is it, 10 weeks maybe? About 10 weeks from now. To get the victory, will it be the culmination of something enormous in your life for you?
100%. I've always envisioned having all the belts. Never happened at 175. Never happened at 175. I think never happened at 168. So now this is my chance at 160.
Yeah, and well, obviously, French and Cruz de Zern holds the 160s, 68s now, doesn't she?
168, yeah.
Just throwing forward, is there a rematch for two fights with Claressa or not?
I don't know. I think there's something in there where she's got a clause for her MMA. So I don't know. I don't think so, no.
Of course, because she's in the Professional Fighters League, trying to win that as well. Is that something in your mind that obviously you're big enough, strong enough to fight the likes of the HH Diva and step up straight away. Is an undisputed at that weight, 8 pounds heavier in your mind potentially, or in the promoter's mind, if that happens?
Yeah, maybe 100%. There's not a lot of fights out there for me. The pool of women's very shallow at the heavier weights. It's not like Katie. I think Katie moved up for one fight, and then she's moved back down. She's constantly got competition. It's not like that at the heavier weights. But at the minute, Clarissa Shields is in my way, and once I've got rid of her, then I'll be happy to talk about other opponents of the fights of the weights.
Well, super middleweight is almost like women's heavyweight boxing, isn't it? There isn't really a lot beyond that, is there?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right.
So you can follow the Fury tradition of being the women's heavyweight champion of the world. Let me ask you, it was mooted that the fight may go up, to the north. It isn't, it's in London. What's your feeling about it being in London?
I'm more disappointed for my friends and family, especially people who have, the last 2 fights I've headlined in Newcastle. So I wanted it more for them. More being London's a 6-hour coach drive, and you've got the box and then a 6-hour coach drive back. But a lot of people say they don't really seem bothered, which is good for me. But like I said, it was more for them. It was more as a thank you for them for it to be in the Northeast for me.
But do you not see the benefits of it being in the media capital, though, of the amount of attention it can draw with you guys fighting in London, and the prospect of selling out a big arena, of bringing lots of fans to an event in the capital?
I do 100%, and being in London makes it an international event with the airports and things like that. I do get that, but like I said, I'm more bothered about my friends and family getting there. But yeah, I see it's bigger, and it, like you said, draws more media attention, and especially with the Michaela Mayer and Alicia being on the card as well. Yeah, it makes it more of a big of an event.
Correct me if I'm wrong, is it only 3 of the belts in their division on the line? Or is it an undisputed? Maybe that's an undisputed as well, isn't it?
No, because I was actually looking at this, thinking about it earlier, because I think that Choi has got the WBA.
Oh yeah, so it's 3 belts. Yeah.
But Alicia has got the IBO, so it still makes a lot of belts.
Yeah, but that's a great fight as well. Are you disappointed, without trying to hammer the promoter about where it is and that it's going to be or they're looking at an all-female card? A lot of people in boxing, myself included, quite surprised that they're doing an all-female card. I mean, why do an all-female card?
I think for Sky, I think they're trying to, Sky are really big on women's sports. So I think they're really getting behind and really pushing it, especially, look how much they've backed female boxing, and even from the start with Katie. So Sky are a big pioneer and a big supporter of women's boxing. But for me, I think Michaela Mayer and Alicia was a massive fight, but I think that's a headliner on its own. So really, I feel a little bit sorry for them both. I'm not saying mine and Clarissa is going to overshadow them, because I don't think it will, but I just think, they're both American. I think it would have been better in America, maybe in one of their capitals, something like that.
Yeah.
So I do feel sorry for them both, but it is what it is, and it is pushing female boxing. But I do think, look, if you're not a fan of female boxing, and there is people still out there that aren't, there's no way you're tuning into that card.
What do you say to people who aren't fans of female boxing, though, Sav? What would you say that should they bring their eyeballs to the sport and watch it and see, not take that traditional view of women shouldn't be hitting each other? What would you say to those fans, or not fans, what would you say to those people that find it a little bit uncomfortable?
Like you said, it's just tradition and the way people have been brought up. I know men still that don't like to see women get hit, and that's just the way it is. And I think until they actually see a female fight, and I can remember when Katie boxed Pursoon won, Like, that was an unbelievable fight, but both of them took heavy, heavy shots, and it wasn't nice to watch from that perspective. From an entertainment perspective, it was brilliant. So it's just the way people are. It's just the way people have been brought up, and you know, if the eye gets turned to watch, then fair play.
Would you have been in favour of this fight? I know it's not going to happen, but would you have been in favour of this fight being sanctioned over 3-minute rounds?
It doesn't really bother me, to be fair. From an entertainment point of view, I think I'm a boxer. I watch boxing, and sometimes when you have men fighting 12 threes, it's boring. I get about 6 rounds in and find myself limping to the kitchen, opening the fridge and looking on my phone. Whereas 2 minutes, it's exciting, it's action-packed, because you've only got 2 minutes to win the round.
Well, you haven't had a problem knocking them out in 2 minutes, have you? So, you know, that hasn't been. What when you have that moment and you're looking in the fridge, what are you normally getting out of the fridge?
No, something I shouldn't.
What's your cheat food? Come on, what is the cheat food when you have to cheat?
Do you know what? I don't actually buy cheap food, because then I know I'm the type to sit and eat like 6 chocolate bars off the spin or 6 bags of crisps. So I don't buy it.
And that is the absolute perfect plan, because if it's there, you eat it. As simple as that.
Exactly.
Right, to the fight. It's a fascinating fight. From the outside, it looks like knockout artist against the boxer. Weirdly, you know, I'm pinning you as the knockout artist there, and Clarissa as the boxer, but it's much more nuanced than that, isn't it? It's much more complex. And I'm going to be honest here, you may have to take more shots than you've ever taken before, may have to take more shots in this fight. And she's probably going to be a hit harder than she's ever been hit before. Is one of the nuances that I see in this fight. For me, it's a fantastic matchup, because it is the ultimate test after a decade, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It really is. Obviously, she's got that one defeat in me. Out of everyone, she's only ever had one defeat, and obviously for me, I'm the one who's beat this so-called G-Wart. So it is. It makes for a perfect matchup, and it's entertaining. It's exciting.
Have you got to, or not have you got to, but could we be, without you giving the game plan away, and you'll be working on it with Peter Fury right now, and I'll ask you a couple of questions about Peter in this plan, are we going to see perhaps a different style from you? I mean, you've developed a really elusive game with him as well. I mean, the Fury style with you has worked perfectly. We've spoken about this before, haven't we? With your style, with your heavy hands and elusiveness, heavy hands from the outside, but also from the inside, but elusiveness early in the fight when you're getting your movement and your rhythm and fluidity and all those things. Is there a chance we might see a different style from you in this fight?
Well, really, every fight I've had to adjust. No fight's the same, no opponent's the same. So, yeah, I'm going to have to adjust to this opponent. So yeah, 100%, my style will be different.
Do you, even though you've called her pillow fists and, you know, she hasn't been able to stop a lot of opponents, do you still have to have a healthy respect for the power she does have in her hands? And is pillow fists, is that part of the circus, part of the build-up?
Look, I've got massive respect for her. So she might pull her faces or say I'm lying or whatever, but I do what she's achieved. It can't be ignored, and I'm not ignorant. I'm not a mug. So I know what's in front of me. You know, I've watched plenty of her. Like I said, I know her very well. I know her very, very well. So of course I've got respect for her, and I know what's coming. And I'm gonna be prepared in every department for this, because I get one chance. And that's all I'm going to get with her, one chance.
You say one chance, South, though, but Ali Frazier, Warden Gatti, many others, trilogy fights. Is there a possibility that you guys might meet 3 times if we have a phenomenal first fight? If there's controversy, is there not an argument that, given that you're both right up there, and there isn't anyone else right up there at middleweight that you guys may meet 2 or 3 times, or would you be sick of the sight of her by then?
Hey, look, as how many times she wants to box me, I'll give her the chance to box me again. But like I said, clauses, MMA, this, that. I just need one chance, and that's all I'll need with her.
She, when I spoke to her a couple of months back, was saying that she felt you were running, that the injury was genuine, yeah?
Yeah, the injury was genuine, yeah.
Yeah. So, and did you know you were always going to have this fight? And should it have been on pay-per-view in your view? Because it's not pay-per-view.
Yeah, I do. I was having this conversation. I was having this conversation with my manager, McKenzie, and maybe it's because I'm in the bubble. So when you're in the bubble, you don't really see what's going on the outside. But I think this fight has got more hype. I'm not saying Joshua or Usyk or anything like that, but any of the current heavyweights that have pay-per-view fights, I generally think that this fight has got a lot more hype around it. And like I said, maybe it's because I'm in the bubble and people are sending me things, I'm getting tagged in things, maybe. But yeah, I'm a little bit disappointed in that, because I was always led to believe that this would be the first women's pay-per-view in the UK.
Yeah, and I agree with you, and maybe to roll the dice and see what is out there, how much you can generate that publicity. And we probably would have seen a pre-fight brawl at some point, which people tend to have when there's a pay-per-view event. But yeah, I do agree with you. I think they should have rolled the dice and had a go at pay-per-view for this, and just seen what the numbers do. Exactly. And presumably, if it had done big numbers, you would earn more. Yeah,
and this was a chance for us to change the pay in women's boxing. If we'd have done really well, look, there's a very, very, very small chance, but there was a 0.001 chance we could have earned Mayweather money. Do you know, it could have happened, who knows?
If you have a thrilling, controversial fight, the second one is bound to be pay-per-view, in my view.
Maybe.
What did you take away from, just finally, what did you take away from Tuesday and all your interviews and the media and the build-up? What do you take with you into camp now, in the serious days now, up to, to fight week? What do you take with you? What's in your mind?
For me, nothing really. I think, you can't just judge things off people's behaviour, or maybe you can, but I'm not the type to just rely on things like that, how people act or anything like that. All that's been, I've been waiting, like once this press conference was over, it's set in stone, we've got the date, right, let's go to work, and that was it. That's been and gone now for me. Like I said, I could sit in here, analyse the way she was doing this, the way she was doing that, but look, I'm not really interested. I'm not relying on things like that.
It's funny, even 2-3 years ago, you wouldn't have been comfortable doing all these media interviews and appearances, and it has become more second nature to you now, isn't it?
It has, and I think it's because this pro game, you make your own career, basically, with a little bit of luck and a little bit, help from promoters. But it wasn't like GB where the reporters had come to you. It's like, you've got to go to them now. Well, I'm not going to get nowhere with me one-word answers, am I, Gareth?
No. And final one, you say he's your biggest critic. He's like the headmaster. He's got an iron rod.
Nope.
Savannah Marshall, it says, and you are indeed Savannah Marshall. What's going to be? What are you expecting from Peter over the next 9-10 weeks? He's going to slave drive you?
Yeah, this will be the hardest camp in my life. He's already pre-warned me
Yeah.
many before. Yeah, plenty of sparring, more sparring partners, more intense, and yeah, I wouldn't expect anything less from him.
Well, listen, we'll look forward to catching up with you in the build-up to it, and it would be brilliant if we could visit you in camp at some point. That would be amazing. Stay well, and really appreciate your time today. Thanks very much.
Thank you very much, Gareth. Cheers.